I'm Kaushiki.
I'm Dilen.
And welcome to the dinner table.
So for everyone who doesn't know, we are recent UT grads of the journalism school, and we are starting a podcast together.
So how did we get this idea?
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
We were at brunch for Dylan's birthday.
Yes, my birthday.
It was in March.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite
Early
literally the day after the midterm primary elections.
Uh-huh.
But we were talking about the different sources of misinformation and the accessibility issues and just a lot of trends that we were seeing in the primaries, because we were both based in Texas.
Yes.
And the Texas primaries were very interesting this year. I think the Texas elections for the midterms upcoming are going to be very, very
interesting.
Invigorating.
Yes,
for
invigorating.
Sure.
That's a good one.
Word of the day.
Yes.
Word of the day.
Yes.
One of the things that at least I saw in the midterms was, like I said, a lot of misinformation.
Yeah.
There's a lack of accessibility, especially with sources of information about candidates, sources of information about, the things that we want to see, like the tangible information, right? It's like Tallarico won the Democratic primaries and no one knows anything about him. So people were kind of questioning his qualifications.
Yeah.
I mean, as people who've lived in Texas, like, we heard about Tallarico way before the rest of the nation did.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, I didn't know much about him until I really did my research. And doing the research is
a lot of work. And there's a lot of people who, kind of one of my main concerns with all this stuff too, is the fact that there are a lot of people who do actually care about this type of stuff. But it's just really hard to find the information. And as we are very busy, like with school or work, it's just hard to find a place to get all the information that is very clear and like gives us what we are looking for. Because whenever I was doing research for when I was going to vote, I looked up a bunch of different websites.
right.
And while that can be easy for some people, for others, that's just like, that is a lot of work.
Yeah. And we're journalism majors. We've talked to a journalist for this podcast recently, and even he was saying that it's hard for him too, with so many things on the ballot. I mean, Texas is a big state, right?
Very big.
And if there's, if just the state midterm elections are so difficult, just the primaries, then like...
Right. A lot of people who do want to be civically engaged, but just, it's so daunting to see everything. It almost gets like, it's like exhausting.
Yeah.
And we just want accessibility for all this stuff and to make it easier for people.
To make it easier for us. I mean, we're learning with you guys, right?
Yeah. That's kind of why we're starting this podcast, is because we see this issue, and as journalists, we feel it in our hearts. To do something about it.
Because I think the bare minimum, like, that we can do as voters, as citizens, as just people who live in a place, in a community, is to educate ourselves and educate others. And there is a very important event coming up in November, November 3rd, 5th?
Yeah. 3rd.
November 3rd, which is the US midterm elections. And that is very important for not just because of the party or the candidates, but because of a lot of issues on the ballots, a lot of issues that we don't know who stands for what, right? There's a lot of different, and especially with the political divide right now, which a lot of candidates are seeking to alleviate, right? The divide happens because of a lot of misinformation.
Exactly.
It's kind of like how traffic starts on a highway.
Oh my God.
It's like traffic starts because of tailgating. A car is going and another car is going too fast.
Yep.
Too close to them. They brake suddenly. And it's a chain reaction, right? People brake behind them and behind them more. And then my life gets really hard getting back and forth from work or school or whatever it is, especially living in the DFW area.
Oh my God, yeah.
But that's kind of how it happens. It's just a gigantic chain of telephone. It's a game of telephone. It's like, that's how misinformation, disinformation spreads. That's how, we as just the regular people, we don't address the real issues because we're too busy fighting each other. We're just too busy doing other things to actually understand what's at stake. And the people who pay at the end of it is us, right?
Yep. Yeah. That's the worst part of it all. So what do we have to look forward to?
I think you can look forward to us every week.
Yes.
We're going to do weekly breakdowns of candidates, pretty much all of the candidates that we can. We'll try to find information, and we'll do very short 10-minute episodes where we talk about it with each other. We talk about who they support, where they're putting their money, because that's really important. You have to follow the money.
Yes.
And we will also do weekly news roundups. So you'll definitely see us twice a week.
Yeah.
See us, hear us, wherever. And besides that, we also have 2 other structures of videos, audios that we're podcast episodes that we're doing. One of them is going to be us interviewing people all over the United States, not Texas specifically, but all over the U.S., maybe outside the U.S.
Yes.
And kind of getting their opinions about all the voter concerns.
It's all concerns for not just Texas, but the entire country.
Voters, non-voters.
Also like people outside the country. So those are going to be kind of more like Q&A style.
They're going to be very to the point. So if you don't want to hear us yapping all the time, please do tune into that. It's going to be question, answer. Virtually no in between, no yapping.
Well,
we'll probably try to edit that out if we do yap.
Yeah,
but
because knowing us, we will.
This is a podcast.
Yes.
This is a podcast.
It's dinner table conversations.
Yes, we're having conversations.
Yeah.
But, and our feature episodes, which we do have, that you can look forward to being out next week, is going to be those are going to be the lengthier episodes where we talk to an expert in the field, someone who's very either impacted or has a lot of knowledge about the situation. And our first guest on the podcast next week is going to be Sir Maxime, who is an Austin-based drag king and activist.
Yes.
And we will be having a very robust discussion with him about the LGBTQ rights, or, lack thereof, in Texas, right? The attacks on trans people, on queer people. And we're going to attempt to put this all into very layman's terms.
Yeah.
Because all of these issues impact all of us.
Yes. And we want to make it as accessible as possible.
No paywalls.
Yes, exactly.
At least not yet. But yes, that is something that you should look forward to next week. So definitely tune into that and join us at the dinner table on YouTube and Spotify for now.
Yeah. And you can find us on our socials at Dinner Table Convo on Instagram, Threads, Twitter,
Blue Sky.
Yes. Or our individual Instagrams at Dylan.Lee
and Kaushiki.Roy.
And you can also find me on Twitter at Dylan Lee.
You can find me on Twitter too, maybe, at KaushikiRoy3. I don't know. I haven't been active on Twitter in years.
No, I tried to follow you with the Dinner Table Combo Pod.
So you probably shouldn't try to find me on Twitter. But
Instagram, we will be there. Definitely at Dinner Table Convo. Thank you for joining us today at the Dinner Table, and we will see you next time. Say bye.
Bye.